What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a new video, guys. So today's video is going to be kind of a little bit different. We're going to be talking about which tune you should get for your BMW. Should you go with MHD or should you go with BOOTMOD3? So as a lot of you guys know, I actually have BOOTMOD3 for my BMW. I've really enjoyed it. I've had a great experience using it. However, I've been looking into MHD. I'm just trying to weigh the differences in the both of them. Which one should you get? Should you go with MHD or should you go with BOOTMOD3? Pretty much just going to be sitting down and going through the differences with you guys, showing you what is different about each one, how much power you get from each tune, the pricing, everything about that. Go ahead, stay tuned for that, guys. I also did a poll on my Instagram story. I did 3 polls and then a questionnaire on why you should pick either one and which one would you pick. So I will go ahead and share those with you guys as well. So guys, the car we're going to be talking about today is the E30 335. The differences between the MHD and the BOOTMOD3. If you look over here, the MHD tune for the F series, it's about $560. Pretty hefty penny. It flashes the DME safely. Everything about that is good. You can use JB4 with it, which is really nice. It's great. For stage 1, you can get up to 360 horsepower just with a simple stage 1 tune, but it depends on what type of gas you're running, what mods you have as well. And that's for EWG, not PWG. So the electronic wastegate, you can get up to 360. With the pneumatic wastegate, you can get up to 340 on a stage 1 tune, which is pretty good. That's like 40 extra horsepower. I have the PWG, so pneumatic wastegate, that's what I have for my car. So if I had the MHD stage 1 tune, I would be getting around 340 horsepower. So that's pretty significant, that's pretty good if you ask me. For stage 2, you can get up to 370 horsepower for pneumatic wastegate. And for electronic wastegate, you can get up to 390. Then again, with those, you need bolt-ons for stage 2 tune, so you definitely need the bolt-ons for that. You can use an ethanol mix as well for the stage 2 tunes and stage 1 tunes. You can have an E20 mix with the MHD tune, so you can have 20% ethanol in your gas tank. You can get up to like 400 horsepower with that. Pretty solid. And this works for like every single N55 car, so that's pretty good, significant horsepower gains. Now, I've never actually really used MHD. You can use an app to flash your car, so you can have your phone and you can flash it with your phone, which is pretty cool. You can mess with the settings, the verbal settings and everything, so that's great. Not really too many differences, so let's go ahead, look into BOOTMOD3, what you can do with BOOTMOD3. So the BOOTMOD3 tune for the F chassis N55 is $595. So it's about $40 more expensive than the MHD, so it's not really a huge difference really. So pretty much with BOOTMOD3, it's the same similar process. It's a DME flash, flashes your DME safely, everything's good about it. So for BOOTMOD3 stage 1, you can get up to 325 horsepower. So around, I would say around 330 just to be safe. Those are pretty good numbers. But that's just a basic stage 1 91 octane for Arizona, California, and Nevada. I live in California and our gas is a lot worse in these 3 states. For 93 octane stage 1 with MHD, you get about 350, I would say, safely. With the California gas, stage 1, you get about 325, 330 safely with BOOTMOD3. So that's pretty good if you ask me. That's still solid considering that we have worse gas, 91 octane, compared to other states. I would be happy with that. With stage 2 on BOOTMOD3, we get about 370 depending on what gas we're using. So around 370 with California gas. So theoretically, I'm probably rocking around 370 wheel horsepower. I thought it was more around 400, but I was doing my research and it's probably more realistically around 370. That being said, I would still like to dyno my 335 to see how much power I'm actually making, because now I'm really curious, because I was told it was 400, but now if it's 370, now I've got to figure out what it is, right? BOOTMOD3 stage 2, 91 octane. Most of you guys would have 93, so you'd be pushing easily 380, 390 with a stage 2 tune with BOOTMOD3. Pretty solid. I'd be happy with that. Again, like I said, you can also rock an E30 tune with BOOTMOD3. So MHD, you can only go up to E20, which is 20% ethanol. With BOOTMOD3, you can get 30% ethanol, which is an E30 tune. So that's one benefit of getting BOOTMOD3. So if you're planning on using ethanol, gas in your car, and you want to have more of a better mixture, I would suggest an E30 mix with BOOTMOD3. That's what I would go with. Also, the thing about BOOTMOD3 is that it comes with a transmission flash as well. already included in that price. So I was able to flash my transmission, faster shifts, harsher shifts, in sport mode with Boot Mode 3. The first time I drove it with the transmission flash from Boot Mode 3, it felt like a completely different car how it shifted. It removed some torque limits in like, I think 3rd gear and 5th gear. Pulls harder, it shifts faster, and that does not come with MHD. For about $40 more, you can get a transmission flash included. So to me, it's more worth it to get Boot Mode 3. But like I said, it's all up to you. You get better horsepower gains with MHD, but with Boot Mode 3, you get a transmission flash. So it really just depends on what you're looking to get out of your car. Now, I asked my Instagram, by the way, go check me out on Instagram. I do these kind of polls and I post daily content on there, so definitely go check that out. But on my Instagram, I did a few polls, and I'll go ahead and throw up the polls that I did and the results. The first question I asked was, do you have a tuned BMW? 43% said yes. 57% said no, 215 votes for yes, and 287 votes for no. Seems like most of you guys don't have a tuned BMW, but do have a BMW in general. A lot of you guys are probably looking into tuning your BMW, so this video should probably help you guys who are on the fence about it. And then the next question I asked was, which tune would you choose? And 66% chose Boot Mode 3, so that's pretty significant. Only 34% said MHD, 274 voted for Boot Mode 3, and only 141 voted for MHD. You can kind of see the difference right there. What is more worthwhile? Stage 1 plus 35 horsepower or Stage 2 plus 80 horsepower? So 80% of you guys voted for Stage 2, 80 plus horsepower, which is kind of funny. That 80% voted for plus 80 horsepower. I don't know, it's kind of funny. And only 20% voted for Stage 1 plus 35 horsepower. So it seems like a lot of you guys would like Stage 2 instead of Stage 1. There is something to think about there with the mods. You're gonna need supporting mods for Stage 2. So you're gonna need a downpipe, intercooler, charge pipe. You're gonna need those things for sure. You're definitely gonna need those. Intake is kind of, you could have it, you don't have to have it. But for Stage 1, I would definitely suggest a charge pipe, at least a charge pipe. But you could go Stage 1 pretty much by itself, but I would always recommend upgrading your charge pipe because those things crack like crazy on all BMWs. So definitely upgrade that if you are gonna get tuned. Only 89 people voted for Stage 1 and 358 people voted for Stage 2. So there's kind of a big difference on that one. That's like the biggest difference that there was. And I just kind of think it's interesting to do these polls so that you guys can see the percentage of people what they're voting for. So maybe that will help you decide which tune you want to go with. I have a ton of responses. So I also asked the question, let me know why you would choose either Boot Mode 3 or MHD. So I will go through some of those responses right now of what you guys said you would choose and why you would choose it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read through all of these. I'll throw up the pictures so if you guys so you guys can see it as well. I'm just gonna be saying it off. MHD because it is cheaper and easier to tune and adjust your settings with the MHD adapter. That's also true. I've heard it's easier to use MHD than Boot Mode 3, but either way they're pretty easy, self-explanatory. MHD because it doesn't have a variety of cars, the makers can focus on the cars more. That's kind of true. I mean, both of them are pretty much BMW for the most part. But yeah, that's interesting. Somebody said JB4, which you can use JB4 with MHD, but I don't know if you can actually use JB4 with Boot Mode 3. I'm not too sure about that, to be honest with you. Looks like a lot of people are choosing Boot Mode 3 for like the F chassis. A lot of the people who have like an N54 with like an E chassis BMW are saying MHD. They're really enjoying the MHD with their N54s, which is true. Boot Mode 3 does not have any E chassis BMWs that you can tune. However, MHD does. Even though this is a 335 video for F chassis, there's still a lot of E chassis people who are choosing MHD, so keep that into consideration. I'm just basing it off of MHD versus Boot Mode 3 for F chassis only, but a lot of people use MHD for their N54s and their E chassis, whereas you can't use Boot Mode 3 for any E chassis cars. A lot of people are saying MHD because of the wireless capability. You can flash it pretty much anywhere you are, which is really nice. With Boot Mode 3, I know I have to use my computer. I haven't been able to do it with my phone. You need to like do some like wiring and kind of that kind of stuff, and it's kind of a pain. So you definitely need to do Boot Mode 3 at home. Whereas with MHD, you can do it on the go, which is really nice. It's a nice thing, nice feature if you're just like in the parking lot and you want to hear some burbles, you can turn on the burbles really, really easily, which is really nice. I wish I could do that, but I can't with boot mode 3. So that's definitely something to keep into consideration. A lot of people are saying boot mode 3 is more reliable, whereas MHD has louder pops and more aggressive. So boot mode 3 seems to be more reliable and MHD seems to be more aggressive. So that's something to keep into consideration. These are from you guys who have used these tunes. This is like from you guys, personal experience that you guys have experienced. Some people are saying boot mode 3 is more user friendly, as in it's easier with like the actual settings. I'm gonna throw up all these responses so that you guys can see what everybody is saying about it. Pretty much what it's looking like is most people are saying MHD is more aggressive. Obviously it is, because it has more horsepower capabilities, whereas boot mode 3 is safer, more reliable. Seems though that the boot mode 3 user face is easier than the MHD, whereas the MHD you can do it on the go, whereas boot mode 3 you cannot. So there's pros and cons to both of them. Definitely let me know what you guys would choose down below. Curious to see what you guys say too here on YouTube, not only just my Instagram. Hopefully this video helped you guys make a decision on which tune to choose. Should you choose MHD or should you choose boot mode 3? Which one are you guys choosing? Let me know. Without further ado, make sure to check me out on Instagram. I will throw it up right over here. Also, remember to stay safe, stay happy, and stay in that project car. I will catch you guys later.